I'm going to get right to it today. This is Brant Bjork, Mankind Woman. I've got it right here. Wouldn't you know that? There it is right there. And of all of these albums or records or CDs, whatever you want to call them, that I'm going to talk about in this series, this one is, or Brant Bjork, I should say, is probably the guy or the band or the artist that I have the shortest history with. I always like to talk about my history with these bands that I talk about when I talk about their music. And sad to say, I only heard of Brant Bjork. I honestly didn't know this guy's name. I didn't know he existed until 2017. He played a show in Mexico City here. Not here, because I don't live in Mexico City, but pretty close. And he played a show there in at a place called Rabioso, which is a really, really cool venue in Mexico City. It's kind of like a pizza place. It's Pizza del Perro Negro, but they have concerts there and a skate bowl and everything. It's really cool. And this guy, Brant Bjork, played there in 2017. And all of my friends, if you call them scene friends, were very, very excited about this. And I saw them posting on social media about Brant Bjork is finally playing in Mexico City, and everybody was so excited. One of my favorite bands from Mexico City, Black Overdrive, was going to open for him. And I thought, who the hell is Brant Bjork? And I discovered after a tiny, tiny bit of, some people would like to say research, which really means they went on Google. So after a little bit of research on Google, I went and I found that Brant Bjork was in Caius, and I was never into Caius. I know they're legends in that scene, in the stoner desert doom, probably not doom, whatever you want to call it, scene. But I never got into them. And then he was in Fu Manchu, and I knew Fu Manchu too. And I knew Caius, but I was just, as I said, not into them. Same with Fu Manchu. So everybody was very excited about Brant Bjork, but me, because I didn't know who the guy was. That was in, I guess, 2017. And then in 2018, he came back again. Now, I can't remember if it was, I think first of all, he announced the release of, if I didn't mention this album, is called Mankind Woman. As you can see in the title of this video, Mankind Woman, there it is. And I heard, so I was aware of him at this point. So in 2018, when this album was announced, and he put out a video, and the first single, I guess it was, if you call them singles, was Chocolatize, which is the first song on this fine piece of music recording. And I thought, I really like that song. That's a cool song. And I listened to it. And maybe it was shortly after that someone announced that he was coming back to Mexico to play at Rabioso. And I thought, I am going to go this time. I wasn't familiar with him, but I thought everybody was raving about him, so I'm going to go. So I went to that show in 2018, and I have a friend. His name is Roman Tamayo. He plays in another great band from Mexico City called Venom Sabathi. And he asked me if I wanted to interview Brant. And I mean, I would have liked to, but I said, I don't know anything about him musically or about his life, his career. So I said, I can't really do it, because Roman was going to do it, and he was going to defer to me to do it. So I said no. But I can't remember if I offered, if he asked me if I could record the interview, the conversation that Roman was going to have with Brant Bjork. So I did. That's on my channel. If you like Brant Bjork, and if you're watching this, maybe you do like Brant Bjork, you can find that on my channel elsewhere, the Brant Bjork interview with my friend Roman. And so I went to that, and I didn't interview Brant, but I did, we spent some time, and I talked to him and everything, and he was a very nice guy. And I really, really enjoyed that concert. And I think at that point I did for sure have this, although I didn't have the CD at that point. I had downloaded it. And I really, really enjoyed Brant Bjork's show at Rabioso in Mexico City. That was I think it was in October 2018. And that kind of opened the door, and he was playing with should I bring this up now? Yeah, he was playing with a guy, or there was a guy. I was standing there with Roman. We were watching sound check, and we were there for hours and hours watching them set up and loading in and sound checking and everything. And I saw a guy that was with Brant Bjork, and he really stood out. And I said to Roman, who is this? And he said, it's a guy called Sean Wheeler. Now, it turned out I didn't know who Sean Wheeler was until that night. I didn't know him. turns out that he kind of he features on this album a couple of songs, which I'll talk about, and he also he records his own music. I ended up getting that also. There's Sean Wheeler. This is Sand in My Blood. He ended up playing, I think, the next year, also Rabioso on his own, and I got this CD there. And then later from also from Brant Bjork, I get into Stoner, which is also excellent. So I'm very, not quite a Brant Bjork virgin, but I am new to Brant Bjork. So that's my very short history with Brant Bjork. I don't know what else to say. I guess I'll get to the album now. Now, the very first song, as I mentioned earlier, is called Chocolatize, which is a very cool song title. It's like chocolate, but the verb to make something chocolate, you chocolatize it. Kind of like kiss, animalize. To make something animal, you animalize it. And now, let me before I really kind of get to this, to chocolatize this song. When I heard the song, as I mentioned, I really liked it a lot, and I was listening to it. And maybe everybody can identify with this. When you hear new music and maybe you're not totally familiar with it yet, you're familiar enough with it to have it in your head, but not familiar enough to know the lyrics or exactly where the song goes. So you have it in your head, and sometimes it veers one way or the other. You make things up in your head. And when I heard the song Chocolatize in my head, I was singing it as in the chorus. It goes Chocolatize. Sorry for the singing. And I was singing in my head, as this sounds very crazy. In my head, I was thinking that he was singing Testify instead of Chocolatize. I was hearing him saying Testify, because it also fits the music of the song, like Testify. And so in my head, I was singing Testify, right on, instead of Chocolatize, right on. And so when I was talking to Brant, I told him about that, and he said, oh, I guess that's kind of funny, or that's cool, or whatever. And then in the show later that night, when he sang it, yes, he sang it as Chocolatize, as Testify, which was very cool. And I took a video of it just by pure coincidence. I think I took 3 videos that night, like of 3 songs. I didn't know a set list. I didn't know, aside from the songs on Mankind Woman, which I will show you again, I didn't know any of his songs. So I didn't know what was coming next. So just by coincidence, I was taking video of Chocolatize. And so he was singing his Testify. I thought, oh, that's fucking cool. That's really cool that he, hours later, he still remembered. And he said, oh, yeah, that actually sounds pretty cool. So I have a special place for Chocolatize. It's a great song, regardless of whether you call it Chocolatize or Testify. And then even better than that, I saw him the following year, I guess it was in 2019, at Sangriento, which is it's owned by the same people that own Rabioso and Pizza del Perro Negro. It was new at that time, and Brant Bjork played there too. And I saw him again after the show, and I was talking to him, and he said, you know what, ever since you told me the year before about Testify and Chocolatize, he said he always sang it as Testify instead of Chocolatize. So I thought that was very cool. That's my tiny, microscopic, minuscule contribution to the world of rock, is that Brant Bjork modified his, maybe that could be another one, modify instead of Testify, Chocolatize. So Brant Bjork, he said ever since then he was singing as Testify, so that's cool. And that's a great song. The next song, as you can see, is Lazy Wizards. That's Lazy. It's hard for me to remember. I don't know if this is age or if it's I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm getting too much information in my brain, but sometimes I have a hard time remembering lyrics with certain songs, especially if they don't mention the song title in the chorus of the song or in the song, and he doesn't say Lazy Wizards in the song. But this is what's the lyric? If I can remember a lyric in that song. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired, my friends. That's a great song too. And this whole album has a really, and I guess this is how Brant's music is, very, very laid back, kind of almost, I think he has a very soulful voice. Music is a little bit funky, kind of a little bit psychedelic, laid back. but there we go, Lazy Wizards. I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think. Next song is Pisces. No, did I get them confused? Lazy Wizards and Pisces. I can't remember. Ooh, I know those songs. When I listen to the songs in order, I know them very, very well, at least musically. No, Lazy. No, so that was Pisces. There was I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. Lazy Wizards. Which one is that? God, this is, I should be more prepared. And I listened to this album earlier today, and I listened to it a lot. How does Lazy Wizards go? I don't know, but anyway, in any case, great songs. How embarrassing that I don't know these songs. So Pisces was next, and then Charlie Gin. Charlie Gin is the first second of the song, 2 seconds, like the first the first like 2 chords. Really, really, for me, bring to mind My Generation by The Who. It's kind of a, bombastic introduction to the song, opening. They say he, what is that one? They say he rode all the way to California, something like that. That's Charlie Gin. Mankind Woman is next, the title track of this album, Mankind Woman. Very kind of a bluesy song, I guess that one is. Great guitar tone. I think the whole album is, but this one especially, Mankind Woman. Who has the rock that would make Rolling Stone? And again, I apologize for the singing, but that helps me to remember. And he played that one live too. And I remember his wife was in the back when the bands play at Rabioso. It's like an open area. The skate bowl is coming kind of behind the band or behind the stage. I remember his wife was in the back, really, really getting into when he was playing Mankind Woman. That was cool to see. His wife really enjoying it. Swagger and Sway is next. That might have been, he opened with that, or maybe he opened with that when I saw him the next time in 2019. What's the lyric in that? God, I can't remember. There's a hook. What's the lyric in that one? Something in the first line is something about you don't like the way I step, you don't like the way I talk, so don't. What is it? I can't remember, but that's another good one. And I know as soon as I finish recording this, all the songs are going to come flooding to me. Somebody is next. Somebody. That's now I don't know who sings on this one. And I only bought the actual CD a couple of months ago. I was in Phoenix, Arizona. I bought the actual CD at Zia Records in Mesa or Tempe or something. I think it's in Tempe, Arizona, in the Phoenix area. And the liner notes. Now it says Brant is credited for vocals, guitar, bass, and drums. Sean Wheeler is for vocals, and then Bubba Dupree, who's Brant's touring guitarist, and also is in that new band. I can't remember what they're called, but with Kim Thiel from Soundgarden and Matt Cameron and a couple of other people, Bubba Dupree plays in that band. Now it says on here he's vocals, guitar, bass, and percussion. I don't know who sings the lead on Somebody. It's definitely not Brant. Sean Wheeler. There he is, the smooth vocals of Sean Wheeler. He kind of sings, not backing vocals, but he kind of like scats through the song. I'm gonna guess that it's Bubba Dupree singing the main vocal of Somebody in the song. And it's I think this whole album feels, for me, it has the feel of that they just sat down, went in the studio. I think this was recorded in Brant's studio. They went in the studio one afternoon or one night or whatever and just banged it all out in an hour or a couple of hours and released it. And I think Somebody, more than anything, feels like that. It has a very loose feel to it. Just a really, the whole album has a good groove to it and kind of a laid back feeling to it. But I think especially Somebody. Next is Pretty Harry. That is credited to, now I know for sure Sean Wheeler sings on that one. Walk with me, dun, 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 dun. Take my hand, dun, 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 dun. Pretty Harry, that's a good song. And I think, yeah, Sean Wheeler, I think, wrote the lyrics for that one too. Brant wrote all the lyrics except for Pretty Harry, is that right? Yeah, lyrics by Brant Bjork, Pretty Harry, lyrics by Sean Wheeler. So Sean wrote, Brant and Bubba wrote the music, Sean wrote the lyrics to Pretty Harry. Walk with me. Now the next song, Brand New Old Times. I'm gonna put this down momentarily. If you've watched any of these videos, I don't know how many repeat viewers I get, probably not too many. When I put the CD down, you know I mean business, and I'm serious about it. Brand New Old Times. Not only is it my favorite song on this album, it's maybe a bold thing to say. It might be my favorite song of the last, whenever this album came out, 2018. Maybe my favorite song like of the last 5 years, or maybe even going back further than that. It's hard for me to think of a song that I like more than Brand New Old Times. Now this one, I know kind of the lyrics on every song, but Brand New Old Times is the one that I know stone cold all the way through. It's I arrived so late today that I was early for another good time. Traffic was so bad that I tried to see it your way and change my mind. Thinking about you and me and the deep blue sea, and if I say hello instead of goodbye. Going blind while we keep on searching. Sister, please, what'd you find? There's something cooking in the kitchen, and it smells like French perfume and pumpkin pie. Kind of makes you wonder how today can last forever, while the years just seem to keep on passing us by. These are Brand New Old Times. Man, oh man, do I love that song. That's think of that. The best song in the last 5 years. And I don't keep records of these things. I could probably listen to another song and say, oh yeah, that's also the best song of the last 5 years. But for now, since I'm talking about Mankind Woman and Brand New Old Times, and it's a short song. A lot of these songs are short. I think it's 2:10, 2:20, something like that. Very short song, but amazing, amazing song. Best of the last 5 years. Can't get much better than that. 1968 is next, and I didn't know anything about Brant Bjork. I assumed 1968 was his birth year, and he's also in the video for Chocolatize. He's wearing a hat that says 1968 on it, so I assumed it was his birth year. I don't know the lyrics enough to, and I should get to that too. I don't know the lyrics enough to know what the song is about. But I read after doing some Google research about Brant. He was born in 1973, so he's like 4 years younger than me. You get to a point where all of a sudden all the musicians you listen to, the baseball players, everybody is older than you. Younger than you. And Brant Bjork, he's like 4 years younger than me. I listen to Black Sabbath and AC/DC and Metallica and Iron Maiden and Kiss. These guys are much, much older than me. So 1968, good, also good song too. Don't know what it's about. I don't know what the significance of 1968 is. And the last song, Nation of Indica. Lord have mercy. What makes a man want to destroy our world? This is Sean Wheeler on this one. This is my second favorite song after Brand New Old Times. This album is for me personally is very back end heavy. I seem to like the second half of the album better than the first. Although I love every song on this album. I can't say I would never use that expression. I'm not even gonna say it, but you know what it is. I would never say that. But really, I love every song in this album. But Nation of Indica, man, oh man, and again similar to Charlie Gin, the first two chords that reminded me of My Generation. The first maybe big chord of this, totally, and the drum too, or I guess it's the hi-hat. Hi-hat would be over here. Reminds me of Heaven and Hell, the Black Sabbath song, not the album, of course. Black Sabbath. Everybody knows Heaven and Hell. I think Brant's music is not really heavy, but this is a heavy song, and it's very just a big song. Sean Wheeler does the vocals on this one through the whole song. We got correct medication so we can heal the nation. We don't need no guns in our education now. Man, oh man, do I ever love that song. And it's very, very fun to yell out like I just did. And maybe I don't sound good, but I fucking feel good because I just yelled the lyrics to a really, really cool song. Man, I love that one. I gotta listen to it now. I want to wrap this up so I can go listen to it on my stereo, not on my phone. So there we go. Brant Bjork, Mankind Woman. That's 11 songs. Something I should mention on this, there's no lyrics in this, and that bugs me. That's always bugged me since I was a kid, or a teenager at least, is when you buy an album and there's no inserts or anything. It's just although I do like digipacks better than plastic jewel cases. Put the lyrics, man. And especially, this was expensive because it came all the way from, this is on Heavy Psych Sounds Records, which is in Rome, which is in, where is that? Japan? England? Rome? Something like that? One of those countries over there. I know it's in Italy. So this record came from Italy. So it was expensive. This was like 20 or 21 bucks US, which is a fucking fortune for me because I live in Mexico. And to ride the subway costs like 25 cents. I'm not joking. It's about 25 cents to ride the subway in Mexico City. So this was very expensive, and it kind of makes me think like, do I want to buy, and you can't buy this in Mexico. I'll never find it here. That's why I wanted to take advantage, why I bought it when I was in Arizona a couple of months ago. It kind of makes me think, if I ever see his next album, and that's kind of why I'm doing this, because he announced earlier this week his new album called Bougainvillea. In Spanish it would be Bougainvillea. Bougainvillea Suite is coming out in October. The first song is called Trip on the Wine, which I like a lot. That was what kind of made me want to talk about this album. So it makes me think, if I ever see it, if he plays in Mexico City again, which I hope he does, or I wouldn't order online. I think, man, come on, if you're gonna make a, and I don't know if this is Brant's decision or Heavy Psych Sound's decision or who it is, but come on, man, give me the lyrics, and I would get into it much, much more. And if you Google the lyrics, you also can't find them, presumably because they're not printed here. So disappointing that there's no lyrics in there, but that's what it is. And also another thing I really like about this album is it's very short. It's like 39, 40, 41 minutes, something like that, which is right about the maximum that I think albums should be. All the best albums, all the, the Kiss, Van Halen albums, they're 30, the classic ones, 32, 33, 34 minutes. Black Sabbath is around probably 40. The Beatles albums are all probably under 40. There's no need to have longer albums than that. 11 songs, you say what you want to say, you get it out there, and there it is. And this makes me want to listen to it again and again. I can commit to 40 minutes. I can't always commit to an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. So there is. I really, really am happy that I was late, but that I did discover Brant Bjork and Stoner from this, and Sean Wheeler, and I saw Fatso Jetson, and some other artists or bands that are associated with Brant Bjork. Maybe if I give it some time, I'll get into Caius and Fu Manchu also. But for now, I'm very, very happy to be talking about Mankind Woman by Brant Bjork. Yes! And yes, of course, as soon as I turned the camera off, it came flooding in me. Lazy Wizards is I'm looking at you, you looking at me. And Pisces was I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired, my friend. And Pretty was it Pretty Harry? Swagger and Sway was what was the lyric? Now I forgot it again. Try to do something about it. Try to do something, my friend. Something like that. So I knew it would come to me. And again, I apologize for the singing, but I wanted to make sure that I got it right. Yeah, that's it.